Hello, welcome to the Leave No Trace training video. Today we will be discussing the 7 basic principles of Leave No Trace, special considerations for trail maintenance, and how you personally can go the extra mile. Principle 1. Plan ahead and prepare. Thinking ahead and preparing not only makes a trip more safe and enjoyable, but also helps to protect the land. Make sure to thoroughly go over the gear that is specifically required for your task at hand. This includes personal protective equipment, proper food storage, and shelter. Principle 2. Travel and camp on durable surfaces. When hiking, do your best to stay on trail. This will help to minimize the square footage impacted by you as a visitor or trail maintenance worker. When walking in groups, remember to remain single file at all times. Do not step off of the trail if you come across puddles, standing water, or large rocks. Navigate the terrain you are presented with. When camping, remember to always choose durable surfaces, such as granite, to avoid impacting the vegetation. Rule 3. Dispose of waste properly. Find an area to dig where you will have the least impact on surface vegetation, preferably an area where you can dig at least 8 inches of hole. When completing the task at hand, make sure to either pack out paper or burn it within the hole. Once the paper has been safely burned, stir together the contents of the hole before putting dirt back into the hole to cover the contents. Principle 4. Stop and leave what you find. A unique aspect of wilderness is that it provides a snapshot of a world minimally affected by man. To help preserve this aspect, make sure to only be an observer and to leave the treasures that you find within the wilderness boundaries. Principle 5. Minimize campfire impacts. Ideally, stick to using a camp stove. But if you must make a fire, remember the 4 Ds: dead, detached, dispersed, and diameter. Use dead wood, wood that is detached from the tree, wood that is dispersed over a large area, and wood that has a diameter less than a human wrist. Lastly, attempt to keep fires at a minimum size. This will not only limit your personal impact, but in addition will leave more appropriate wood choices for the next visitor, provided they would also enjoy a fire. Principle 6. Respect wildlife. Seeing as you are a visitor in the wilderness, make sure to provide the natural inhabitants with their respective space. In addition, when using rocks in trail maintenance, check before you pick them up for burrows where endangered toads and rodents may be living. And Principle 7. Be considerate and respectful of other visitors. When cutting trees, place your saw as low to the ground as possible while still maintaining room for your teeth not to hit the dirt. Once your tree is cut, be sure to dispose of the brush with the cut end away from the trail. In addition, use dust or ash to disguise the presence of the newly cut stump. Cairns have a long history as a traditional method of trail marking. But when trails are well traveled and easy to follow, cairns are unnecessary and should be disposed of to maintain the untrammeled quality of wilderness. Go ahead. When selecting rocks for trail maintenance, Avoid picking rocks that are settled in soil or may be iceberged and create holes when plucked. Instead, try to locate rocks that are atop of other rocks. When dismantling and destroying campsites and fire rings within wilderness, be sure to keep a keen eye for scorched granite. Be sure to disperse the rocks over a broad area with either the scorched side down or thrown into a body of water. Utilize grain bags and shovels to gather the ashes from the basin of the fire pit. While gathering, be sure to keep a watchful eye for trash, including foil and cans. When scooping ash, try not to dig the hole deeper than the ground surrounding it. Carry the ashes far away from the established campground. Try to find a thick bush or shrub such as manzanita. Pour the ashes dispersed throughout the manzanita to conceal the fact that a fire pit once existed in the area and deter future fires. Use granite sands, dust, and duff to obscure the remnants of the fire pit. Be sure to put face down any granite that is scorched. And finally, challenge yourself by going the extra mile to see how little of an impact you can make personally. Ways of doing this include using sunscreens that are reef friendly, using head nets, long sleeves, and gloves instead of DEET to help protect the threatened amphibian species of the Sierras, and avoiding single-use plastics and trying to reuse Ziploc bags in food storage. So get on out there and leave no trace. After all, Sasquatch has been doing it for years.